This is the Renault R5, and in this video I'll be testing range and consumption, cabin noise, the charging and also the acceleration. Welcome to It's Only Electric. Let us start with the basics.
It's only electric.
It is a compact hatchback measuring 3.9 meters in length with a wheelbase of 2.5 meters. It weighs just under 1.5 tons. This specific car is the Renault R5 Techno with a pop green color, and it really pops. But Techno means it's the mid-spec version, so it comes with a bigger battery, the bigger motor and some other extras like a bigger instrument cluster, a backup camera and also these Techno aluminum 18-inch wheels. The first car produced on the AMP-R small platform, and that's shared with the upcoming cars like the Renault 4 and also the Nissan Micra. It's front-wheel drive with one synchronous motor without any rare earth metals, but it delivers 110 kilowatts or 150 horsepower with 245 newton-meters of torque. It should be able to do 0 to 100 in 8 seconds flat with a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour. It is a 400 volt system, and it should be able to charge from 15 to 80% in 30 minutes with a top speed of 100 kilowatt. When it comes to AC charging, it charges 11 kilowatt. We'll see about the charging speed later in this video. The battery pack has a gross capacity of 55 kilowatt hours with a net capacity of 52. Its stated WLTP are 410 kilometers. It drives on 18-inch wheels with Continental Eco Contact 6Q tires, and they measure 195, 55 all round. Let's start driving. Finally, time for the range and consumption test. It's the same road, same stretch every time. It's a fixed route of 80 kilometers and it's varied speeds all the way up to 110 kilometers per hour. We have a couple of set rules, and the first one is we always stick to the speed limit. The second one is we drive the car in eco mode if available, and it is. And the third one is we put the AC on 20 degrees and eco, and I've done that also. And the eco mode is in a sub menu, so you need to click that on separately, but it is on 20 degrees and eco and fan set to 2, so pretty low, but it's really comfortable here inside, and it's 20 degrees outside today, so it's amazing weather. Sun is shining. I have just passed 27 kilometers and the average consumption right now is 15.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I don't know, I thought it would be a little bit lower. Of course, we have just passed the fast stretch, the 110 kilometers per hour stretch. It's a really small car. It seems pretty aerodynamic. But 15.3 now, 15.2. We'll see. I hope it drops a little bit more. I will also add some thoughts and personal opinions about the Renault 5. And to start with, it's actually pretty comfortable. The suspension is pretty soft and it's quiet. Maybe a little bit too soft, but still pretty fun to drive. It's nippy, and actually cabin noise seems pretty decent. It's a pretty quiet car, especially for being this small, and the design has actually grown on me a lot. I really like the front of it. It happens a lot, but still it looks really good and quirky. It also grabs a lot of attention, especially in this pop green color. Especially children. They like turn around and point at it and talk about it and gets happy. And even like older guys, older men, I get thumbs up from a guy driving a Polestar 2. And it's fun, everyone is looking at it. And of course it's like this green color really pops. And the design is a retro cool look. I really like the way they have done the retro look, because some cars get ugly when it's retro, but I think Renault has nailed the design of this car. And I think the interior looks great overall. I like the materials. Of course, it's not the best plastics. It's Renault quality. We know how that is. It's a cheaper car, or it's not that cheap actually, but it feels cheaper than it looks. It's a little bit padded on the door sides for your elbow, but it's a little bit too short, so I get just in the corner of it. So my elbow hurts after driving this car for a while. The seats are actually pretty comfortable. They're supportive on the sides and decent on the bottom. I just passed 40 kilometers and the average consumption right now is 14.0 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So let's hope the efficiency will be good because the weather is optimal today. The Renault 5 is also equipped with the speed limit warning system that's mandatory for all cars produced 2024 and later and sold in Europe. I've only found one way to turn it off, but let's speed up and see if it starts beeping. Should start beeping. It's beeping right now, but it's really quiet and the road noise is pretty high right now because we're driving pretty fast. So you have a button to the left of your knee, like a panel here, not on the steering wheel. It's a car with a circle around it. You should just press that 2 times. You set your personal profile and you can configure it however you want. So let's go into the car and we're going to driving assistance. And here you have all on, so now it's on again. And you have perso. If you press perso, you have configure my safety perso. You press this and you have overspeed audible warning, limitation change sound, lane departure prevention, and so on. And you can adjust them all here. So everything is off right now, only some emergency things. So that's perso settings and it's on right now. So if you have configured this, it's actually really good because it's your personal setting. So you just press this 2 times every time you start the car. You don't have to do anything else. Otherwise, this car is also equipped with the adaptive cruise control, and that's pretty much it. And you have it on the left side of the steering wheel, but it's actually pretty easy to use. It looks like touch buttons, but they are real buttons and they actually look really good and they feel really good. Pretty easy to understand and easy to press. So I like the implementation from Renault overall. But you have this set like a rocker on the farmost left, so up is set and down is also set, but it's plus and minus. So you go up 1 by 1, or if you press it for longer time, you will go up 10 by 10, and it's pretty fast. And now it's changing to 100, and then I have a button with 4 arrows. Just press that and it will change the speed to the current speed limit. So really easy. And this button I wished more cars has, because it actually works really good. And the speed sign recognition of this car has been really good. I haven't had any misreading of any road. This is the best one so far. Otherwise, on the left side of the steering wheel, you have the mode button. It's a speedo and it says mode. So you press that and you have off, you have adaptive cruise control, and also speed limiter selected, so the maximum speed. The middle button on the left side of the steering wheel is a car with 4 lines, and here you change the distance to the car in front of you with adaptive cruise control. So it's 4 steps. Underneath that you have the reset button to the left side and a 0 button to the right side. So the 0 button turns everything off and the reset will reset the adaptive cruise control. So easy to use and it works pretty decently. It doesn't have the active steering assist, only lane keep assist, so it ping-pongs you back if you're almost going out of the lane, but nothing else. It doesn't have active steering as the Hyundai Inster has, for example, and that one is 5,000 euros cheaper. But the adaptive cruise control at least works really great. On the right side of the steering wheel you have answer and close calls, and also your voice assistant. You have the star button, your favorite button, so you can map this button. There's not so much things to choose from. And to the right of that you have 3 squares, so you change the screen of the instrument cluster. And they look really good. You have different designs depending on what mode you're driving in, and you have Google Maps here. It looks really good and it works really nicely as far as I can see. So that one is pretty cool. And then you have the OK button in the middle, so you can confirm, reset if you hold it a couple of seconds. And to the right of that you have the rocker arm again, and here you can go through the menus depending on what you're in. So you can see your consumption, you can see the range, and so on. So easy to use. Underneath that you have a round button, multisense, the laggiest button in the car. And here you change the drive modes. The central media screen also looks pretty decent based on Android. It's pretty fast. I wish there was some more functions. It's a little bit small screen also. I wish it was a little bit bigger, because if you have maps and something else, it's pretty small map, but it looks really good overall. And if it is something I don't like with the Renault cars, it's all the stalks. You have 1 on the left side, but you have 3 on the right side. So it gets confusing. You have the media controls on the bottom, and depending on how you sit, you cannot see it. I don't like it at all, the media stalks here. They could implement it somewhere here instead. And the gear selector is the top one, it's a skinny one, the tall one. And you have reverse, neutral, drive and brake, so regen mode. And I'm driving in regen mode all the time. It is time to summarize the Renault 5, and let us start with the range and consumption test. It was 21 degrees outside, sunny and dry roads, so perfect conditions. We're driving on 18-inch wheels, Continental EcoContact 6Q, and they measure 195/55 on all four wheels. And the final consumption landed on 13.5 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers. And this is a real-world range of 385 kilometers, or 94% of the stated WLTP. 385 kilometers is a decent result for a 52 kilowatt-hours of net capacity battery. The synchronous motor at the front seems decently efficient, and the aero also seems decently efficient. It could always be better. It's a small car, it's 3.9 meters, it weighs under 1.5 tons, so as I said, this is expected and a decent result. If you want to know more about this car, don't forget to check out the full review. It's linked up here. I did it together with my brother, so both of us in the video there. We're checking out interior, exterior, and talking about the car in more details, so check that one out. But I also did a high-speed range test of this car, so 120 kilometers per hour GPS speed or 123 kilometers per hour indicated in the instrument cluster. And the average consumption landed on 22.3 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers. And this equates to a real-world range of 233 kilometers. A decent result considering the size of the car and size of the battery. It was 12 degrees outside, dry roads. I couldn't drive the car in eco mode because over 115 kilometers per hour is not possible to drive with eco mode activated. So I changed it to comfort mode, but I put the AC on eco 20 degrees. Let us jump to the next topic, and this is the acceleration test. It was 12 degrees outside and dry roads, and the best acceleration I got was with 85% state of charge of the battery, and that time was 7.95 seconds 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 7.48 seconds 0 to 60 miles per hour. A fairly decent result. It stated 8 seconds, so just under 8 seconds. Thank you, Renault, for not over-promising, but over-delivering instead. It's front-wheel drive, so it struggles with grip a lot, and there's a lot of torque steer. It's actually really fun to drive. And we're measuring the speed with a race box. It's a GPS separate box that we connect to a phone to get a more accurate result. To the next topic, and this is the cabin noise test. We always measure the cabin noise on the same road, same stretch. We put the microphone in head height on the passenger side, and we measure at 50, 70, 90 and 110 kilometers per hour. And this car is actually really silent. I think it's the most silent car in its class, but it's more quiet than the Mercedes EQA, the Zeekr X, and also the Nissan Ariya. So really good result overall. There is some wind noise over 100-110 kilometers per hour. I think it's normal for this type of car, especially for this cheapish car. It's not cheap, but you understand what I mean. There is a strange sound at lower speeds. It seems like a coil whine, so I think it's from the synchronous motor in the front, especially when you try to keep the speed. So when you accelerate a little bit and regen, when you're just trying to holding the speed, you can hear this coil whine. It's like buzzing a little bit in the background, a high-pitched sound. It's not that annoying, but if you don't have any music on and the AC is off, you can hear this sound a little bit all the time at lower speeds. To the last topic, and this is charging. The Renault 5 doesn't have any manual preheating, but you can preheat the battery by navigating to a charger. Renault, please give us a manual preheating option. I navigated to a charger approximately 25 minutes before I wanted to charge. And I charged it from 10 to 80%, and it took 30 minutes and 15 seconds. And this actually surprised me because Renault states 15 to 80% in 30 minutes. And this charged 10 to 80% in 30 minutes and 15 seconds. I was expecting 33, 34 minutes maybe, because they didn't state the 5% in the bottom. 30 minutes is still not a really good result. It's decent, but I can forgive them because it's a small hatchback. You don't do road trips in the same way as you maybe do in a big GT car. But I'm expecting approximately 25 minutes for a good charging car in 2025. I know many don't care about that, same with the preheating. The peak speed I saw was 102 kilowatt, and that's on point with 100 as Renault states. And at 80% I was charging at 47 kilowatts, and the average speed was 76 kilowatt for the whole charging session. I don't know why Renault doesn't state 10 to 80% and they state 15 to 80%. And thank you Renault for not hyping the numbers too much and being conservative. If you want to get access to all our data, please consider becoming a member, and then you will get a Google Sheets link, and then you will get the acceleration test, the cabin noise, the range figures, and everything, statistics about all the cars we're testing. I'm gonna put the link up here, and it will greatly help us if you supported us. Let me summarize the Renault 5 and my thoughts and feelings of it. It starts at 350,000 SEK or 32,000 euros, and that's for the base model, the Evolution model, and that has a smaller battery and a smaller motor. This car, the Techno, with the bigger battery and bigger motor, starts at 400,000 SEK or 37,000 euros. And then you have the iconic 5, is like 1,000 euros extra, 10,000 crowns extra. And then you will get some extras like lights in the back, sensors in the front and on the side, parking sensors, and some other small things. I would probably go for the iconic 5 and spec it with a more discreet color, because this pop green is really nice. I actually like it, and the pop yellow is the same. It's a really amazing colors and I love them, but for me it's too much attention. Get some extras inside. Go for the Harman Kardon sound system. This original sound system is really bad. I cannot separate some sounds. The mids and highs just float together. The bass just shakes. It's not good at all. I think it works for many people, but for being a 32,000 euro car, is not enough. And there is separate tweeters and everything, but I know it doesn't. The bass is not good. The mids are not good. The highs are not that good even. As I said, I cannot separate some instruments and some sounds. It's not a harsh sound. I cannot hear the difference between some instruments. So I'm disappointed with the sound system. And as I said, for 32,000 euros, or even this one is 37,000 euros, I expected a little bit more. So I would go for the Harman Kardon sound system. I haven't heard it, but I hope it's better than this one. So go listen to that one first before you choose this car. It's fun to drive, even though the suspension is pretty soft. It's leaning, and when you accelerate it would lean back. But I think it suits this car really nicely, because it's more of a city stroller. You can nip it around in the city, and I think it's perfect for the streets of Stockholm or bigger cities or countries with worse roads like we have in Sweden right now, or probably Great Britain and so on. And I like this car a lot. I think it would be a great seller, especially if you need a regular car. It's perfect. It looks good. It's fun to drive. The seats are pretty comfortable. I wish it was longer thigh support, and I want to take the seat back a little bit, but I can't, because then I cannot reach the steering wheel. So my feet are a little bit upwards in angle, but I got used to it. Steering wheel looks really good. The buttons are really nice feeling, and they look really good with the piano black. It looks luxury, but I would prefer something else than piano black, because you get fat and stains on them everywhere. So not optimal. And this power button things, why do you insist on doing everything the opposite? Put a P on the gear selector and remove the power button. I don't understand the logics between this. Sometimes I just want to put them in park and wait 2 minutes on a parking lot. I don't want to turn off the car and the lights turns off after like 1-2 minutes. Just put a P. Don't do the opposite. There's a reason why people put P instead of the power button, if you ask me. Maybe there's some reasons I cannot think of, but I would prefer a P button, as I said. One real bad thing is the backup camera. The resolution is garbage. It looks like a potato from year 2000 that someone has, like a flip phone. It's really bad. The colors are good, and you can see the difference between objects and so on, so it still works. The instrument cluster is also pretty good. It feels like you haven't gone for the full option, because it's long and narrow. It's still 10 inches something, but it feels like they have cheaped out, because the size is big but the screen is small. It's a lot of bezels, so it looks like you cheap out, but it works good overall. And the infotainment system also is pretty nippy and works. It's not that many functions overall, but it's easy to use. The multi-sense button on the steering wheel is really sluggish. This is the only thing, and the gear selector can also be sluggish sometimes, but the multi-sense, when you press this, I'm pressing it 2-3 times because I cannot see it change. And same with the gear selector. Say you want to do a turn, like a 2-point turn or something. So you're driving and put it in reverse. And if you don't stop fully and press the brake really hard, it doesn't put in reverse. Or if you press it like too sloppy, it doesn't put in reverse. You need to do it again. And the same thing when you jump in the car at the first, when you start it. If you're too fast pushing the brake, start the car and press it down, it's not ready yet to start. It needs its boot up sequence and everything. I really like these air conditioning controls. You have everything you need, the temperature, the ventilation, everything is here, and it's really easy and it looks really good. You also have your hazard lights and your lock button. So this is amazing. The mid console is really small. And yeah, it's soft and pretty decent, so it's no problem, but it looks really cheapish. Cheapest plastic, you don't have any good cup holders. The Qi charger, so my battery drains faster than it charges, especially if I have Android Auto on it. So there's no ventilation, and it says full charging time is like 4 or 5 hours. So that's probably like 2.5 or 3 watts of charging. But overall, I think this is a really good package. I hope to see this car in this pop green and pop yellow and other popping colors because they look amazing and they're fun to drive, and I would greatly recommend this car as a small car if you're 2 or 1 and you don't drive longer distances. And I think I would choose this before the Inster because I think this looks a lot better, especially exterior and interior wise also. But the Inster is a lot more practical. You have so much more room in the back seat. It's usable back seat. This is almost not if it's not really small children. Boot is bigger on this one, but if you want bigger boot and the Inster, you can just drag the seats and you get the same size. Comment down below, let's have a discussion. Would you go for this Renault 5 or would you go for the Inster, maybe the Citroën EC3? Let's have a discussion and I will try to answer as fast as I can. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like the video, subscribe and share it. And as we always say, stay electric.